Some details, and of course, Apple at $3 trillion. Dan Ives, Managing Director, Equity Research, Wedbush Securities. Dan, you called it. You called it on Tesla. You called it on Apple, but you always have, and it's because you're doing a lot of channel checks and doing your homework. So I guess you weren't surprised. Were you surprised? You tell me on the Tesla deliveries, the year number and the quarterly numbers that really wowed Wall Street and came out with a bang, beating the way.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Tesla numbers surprised me because I thought...
Share some details, and of course, Apple at $3 trillion. Dan Ives, Managing Director, Equity Research, Wedbush Securities. Dan, you called it. You called it on Tesla. You called it on Apple, but you always have, and it's because you're doing a lot of channel checks and doing your homework. So I guess you weren't surprised. Were you surprised? You tell me on the Tesla deliveries, the year number and the quarterly numbers that really wowed Wall Street and came out with a bang, beating the way.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Tesla numbers surprised me because I thought...
Now I'm seeing numbers, 2 million plus. I don't know. When do you think they can get to that 2 million annual delivery? When do you think that could happen?
Yeah, look, Street right now is about 1.3, 1.
Talk about these factories, right? You were talking about Austin and Berlin, those gigafactories that really are likely to outpace what we've seen versus Fremont and Shanghai. By the way, he's had the factories in the right places to sort of get past the chip shortage problem and the supply chain problem. Somehow the way the factories were set up really worked in Elon Musk's favor. Also the fact that Austin and Berlin are higher gross margin for the company as well. Free cash flow. These are the types of things that people are talking about when it comes to Tesla, right?
Well, yeah, and the gross margin story is important.
Oh, and Tom Brady did it again yesterday. So let me just finish my car thought before I get to Apple. So 2 thoughts. Number one, does the Rivian truck really have a chance to outtake Ford as best truck? Also, were you surprised to see in Switzerland that the Tesla Model 3 was the best vehicle? It was the most sold vehicle. It wasn't just EV. It was number one.
Yeah, I mean, well, first on Rivian.
Your bull case was $1,800. For Apple, you have $200, and your bull case is what, $225, I think?
$225. $225 is bull case, but that does not include the AR/VR headset Apple Glass, which we think gets released in the summer. That'll add about...
Had some stats where the iPhone demand outstripped supply, by 12 million units in the last, I guess it was in the last quarter. Tell me about the demand going forward and what your channel checks are seeing. I mean, you're just seeing more Apple, everything, right? And you obviously when you talk about the AR and VR, yeah.
I focus on...
Need to know about other than the AR, VR glasses and things like that I should be paying attention to?
There's many things that happen within Apple.
Oh, and the car! Wait, the car!
That's the key. Look, I mean,
Founder and CEO of Heliogen, to tell us more about this. Congratulations to you and the team. The last big SPAC merger of 2021. You did it. Congratulations. How are you feeling, and what are some of the goals in the agenda now?
Thank you very much, Nicole. Well, it's great to...
About fossil fuels and the prices on the rise. You have so many different types of clients. What is it that they're looking for specifically from Heliogen?
All of these customers that we're...
And so now when we look at the dollars and cents of things, what do you tell shareholders? This was what, roughly $2 billion in value? You tell me the latest value. What do you tell the shareholders that they love your exciting ideas, but they love being invested in your exciting ideas?
We are building this company for the long...
We look at their goals for infrastructure and plans going forward.
Right now, we do not rely on subsidies except for the...
You know what I thought also was fascinating, that you are the founder of more than 150 companies in the last 30 years. As you talked about the one that you started when you were a teenager, it reminded me when I read your bio, it's just, this is your thing, starting new ideas and bringing them to fruition. So good luck to you and the team, and you don't need luck. It's certainly, you got it all lined up. And you'll come back again because you've been on with us a couple of times now. Happy New Year. And you'll give us some updates. Bill Gross of Heliogen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
You have a strong buy. Tell me a little bit about why you think people are underestimating Boeing a little.
Thanks for having me, Nicole.
We saw year over year, even if you compare it to 2019, how we still aren't seeing folks traveling and such. Boeing still has so much potential as far as deliveries and such going forward. Kevin, your thoughts on the chart of Boeing?
Yeah, I mean,
I understand what you're saying. So, Colin, I wanted to get back to your price target, your 12-month price target, with the upside potential here on Boeing. Strong buy rating, 272. How do you come to that number? Quickly, do you have any buy or strong buy on the other airlines that you mentioned?
Yeah, so our top picks in airlines would be Delta and Alaska, just because we really want to be focused.
It was a top pick over at MKM Partners as well, so agreeing there with Colin's call, while other names were downgraded. Southwest was downgraded, JetBlue, Spirit, those came under some more pressure. Kevin, your thoughts on the group overall? Because we did have 15,000 cancellations since Christmas Eve. Right, and we're hearing more and more about cancellations through the middle of January and trying to pay staff more to work extra and such. Kevin, your thoughts on the group? Because as oil had trickled higher, Colin, some of these companies obviously paying for jet fuel, some are hedged, but final quick thought here.
Yeah, I think the oil spike up in the...
And thank you both very, very much. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Appreciate it. Great segment there on Boeing and some of the airlines as well. Appreciate it. Kevin Green and Colin Scarola. Kevin Green of Charles Schwab and Colin Scarola of CFRA. Thank you.